So, hello everyone, welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining the webinar. So, before we start the session, let me tell you some of the ground rules of the webinar. You all will be on mute mode during the session. You will be unmuted for the question and answer round after the session. In case somebody wants to ask the question in between, they can ask the question in the chat window. The chat window will be open for you. This webinar is being recorded and the recording will be shared to you over the email and it will be also available in our YouTube channel so you can go and watch to again. So my name is Prakhar Roman and I am the marketing consultant for the DevLabs Alliance. So I will move to the next slide quickly and let me introduce about what is DevLabs Alliance and what we do. So in DevLabs Alliance, we are the leading provider of the technical training and the consulting services. When I say training and consultancies, here I mean with the name of some of our top training and trending workshops that such as data and automation, robotics automation, data science, DevOps, blockchain, performance testing, and soft skills also. We all we have the presence across the different continents like Asia, Canada, USA, Australia. We have having a very rich pool of IT experience and consultants and advisors in our reflecting and training segment. For more information, you can go to our website and go and visit more of them. So, why you should choose us? So, there are basically some of the major reasons why you should choose us. First one is practical workshop with zero theory. So, our sessions are completely hands on with cases and assignment. Second, we have a limited batch size of small so that you can focus attention and get grab through every detail of the course. Our trainer are experience and real-time industry practitioners. So you get that the latest course curriculum which is practiced by the professionals. Our curriculum is designed as per the industry investor so that you can get the latest knowledge what is going on in the industry. So today we are running an on-spot offer for the webinar attendees where we are having a discount of 10% especially for all the participants. There are code you can see on my screen. For the Indian participants, the code is web10 in and for the abroad participants, the web10 is the code. You can visit the link and apply the code to get the more information and have the course discount. So let me introduce to our trainer. So our trainer is are having 13 plus of years experience and having a rich pool of experience in Java, Selenium, and automation testing. So without any further delay, I would like to end to our trainer and starting our session. Over to you. Thank you. So Thanis, you can share your screen and you can start your presentation.
Thanks, Omar. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Omar, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay. Thanks for joining this webinar. And without delay, we will start. Okay. And today we're going to see about what is the purpose of automation. Okay. The test automation becomes very, very critical in nowadays, right? Because without a zero delay, you need a app up and running. For example, in 15 years 13 years back, you interact with internet or applications very less, because it's very less, because nowadays consider um, uh, Facebook or a WhatsApp down for 40 minutes across the continents, then the up and running cost and then testing cost will be become a very critical. So that in this case, manual testing is not absolutely not feasible, because you have thousands of testing pools to be run and verified, then you go for a prod release. That is practically which is very, very critical in time consuming and real time application. There is the place of an automation where it will pitch in, ensures your prod release is successful by pre-prod running automations, so that there is a various techniques to run an automation scripts. But the 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 main aim is we have to release a foolproof prod release. That is the main aim of a automation testing. But these and all not possible in a manual testing in a short span where we live in a integrated with multiple platforms. You access a Facebook with a desktop, you access a Facebook with a mobile application, you access a Facebook with third party application. In this case, one issue, you have to run a multiple streams of device and the continental. That is the advantages of a manual automation testing, to run the test case across the platform, across the scenarios, so that ensures the defect free product is released to the prod. Okay, then why this is the advantages of a manual testing? The pain point is it's a time consuming. Yes, same thing, it's a time consuming. You cannot go a release within a 10 to 15 minutes of a prod release, because consider it's a critical thing in consider it's a banking application, right? If you swipe a card in a Mastercard or in a Visa card, right? If it's a down for a 10 minutes, then what is the reason? It has to be zero downtime. That is an SLA of that. In this case, you cannot test the prod release in a critical applications. So that there is a main thing. We go with a we go with a automation testing. Then and then risk of high errors, because the knowledge is depends upon the person. If a person goes, his knowledge is smoothed out. But in automation scripts, it's lies your knowledge, and your thought process is converted into a test scripts, which is stored, which is tested, and every time at the same process. It has to be foolproof testing, so that it enables you to a greater quality of a prod release. Okay. And then the logging of at what time it's run, what is the testing, whether it is passed or failed, and taking a screenshots and maintaining the logs, right? It's a very very tedious process, because uh, running a application across the platform and maintaining the error free code, then it will be a very very difficult. That too, right? This is in this data become a more valuable. You have to be very fast in your testing. Okay. This is the reason for an automation. Then we will go further in deep of a what is the use of a automation testing. The main use of automation testing is you get a better quality result. Okay, which means that you can interpret the quality of a result into a metrics. Okay, so that you can analyze the things uh, time to time. Even a testing is in progress. For example, you 15 testers doing a manual work. Okay, but end of the day only he going to log, or in between only he going to log the status of a testing to any tool. It may be any tool which. But the thing here is, if you go on the spot, right, you're looking for that, you can check whether with what is the progress, what is the status of your testing. No need to wait till a regression has to be completed, end-to-end testing or pre-prod releases. You can see as soon as possible as it's getting executed. You transparently see a things what happens. That is the reason it is very fast in seeing, and quality is improved. And it is end time of runs you can repeat. For example, you developed a suit which is for a India region, you can repeat the same testing to a APAC, or it can be used to Europe. Same type of things, it can be reused and it can be utilized in anywhere else, depending upon the scenario what you have. Okay, this is a highlights. We have to think very very strategically. If you go on automation, you get a n number of possibility of checking the qualities and taking a data and pushing a data in a multiple formats. And it can be the knowledge is your knowledge is stored in a scripts, so that maintenance and the execution time and everything become a minimal, so that you contribute a value add to your team or your organization, so that it will increase the quality, costs, and everything to your team. Okay, then comparing, since we have taken a Selenium cucumber, then we are comparing with the Selenium with the previous generation of tools available in the market. Okay, so that HPQTP. Okay, uh, before HPQTP it was Mercury. Mercury is the origin of HPQTP, where you require a license cost. It can be done only the VB script. Now it is converted as a UFT, where you can use C sharp and anything. But and another thing, right? IBM RFT and test complete. Everything is a license. You have to pay a money to you, to the that company which is owning the tool. Okay, so that is a pain point, right? You may have a 10 testers. 10 testers need to rerun the things, and it has to be run in a batch mode, or it has to be run in a CI/CD, right? Everything is driven with the license cost. So that if you go with the open source like Selenium, you have a no license cost. You get a major updates, and if you have any pain points, you address through the community people will fix you, so that your needs and the others needs are uh, serviced in a same pot, so that it can be utilized both the way. uh, Winning point, for example, before a screenshot part was not introduced in a Selenium, one person asked for a screenshot, but everybody is benefited with that screenshot part in the Selenium. That is the advantages of a open source, so that once one person pain point is resolved, then we can utilize that for us, so that we can also get that benefits out of it. Okay, then advantages of Selenium. The first thing we already discussed, it's open source. Open source, no licensing cost. We get a it can be run over in a multiple platforms, so that what is the multiple platforms. Okay, so that it can scripts you developed in a uh, Windows, it can be run in a Linux or a Mac or in any other open operating system which supports Java, or what programming language you select. Okay, for example, for now we consider as a Java. Then if Java is able to execute in any your OS, then it can Selenium can be up and running, so that no dependency on any platform, that is operating system. Okay, next thing is programming languages. Okay, then you selected as a Selenium, so that you have a in a team of a 10 to 15 people. Okay, in this case, few people willing to go with a Java, few people willing to uh, C sharp. In this case, you can logically split the team. One functionality of the team is willing to do in C sharp, they can proceed with the C sharp. One functionality of the team can be proceed with Java. End of the day, right? Everything runs in a Selenium. It can be integrated as a single piece of run, so that this is a multiple program paradigm. Okay, generally it happens very rare if it's we will be going with the same programming language across the teams. If it's logically viable, if there is any restrictions has to be done over that, we can go with, especially with the client requirements, clients willing to go with the C sharp, and some clients require go for a Java. In this case, they may split the logically to the two different teams. Okay, in this case we can go with the but Selenium supports multiple languages. Then the main thing is multiple framework supports. Okay. Then the Selenium supports a BDD Cucumber. Selenium supports a TestNG. Java Selenium supports a Serenity, which means that multiple framework available in a open source, so that it can be utilized and uh, depending upon your needs. Okay, everybody's needs and testing platform will be differ. On that case, you will be selecting which platform is required for you, you can take it up. Okay, that is the main thing of selecting a multiple framework, so that you should have a choice, right? Even though you, if you are if you are selecting one brand, then you should have a choice to select which color, which type, like that. Selenium has a multiple flavors to select the your framework. Okay. Okay, and the main thing is, right, Selenium supports a web automation. Okay, now nowadays, right, even everything is available in a web. Okay, as soon as you open a computer, right, in after 2020, right, right, the usage of a computer application is number one is browser. Okay, then 80 to 90 people across the world using a one application in a desktop application or in a mobile, right, maximum will be a browser. Okay, then the browser in desktop it will be 80 to 90%, but in mobile devices, there case to case it will be different. If it's mostly having a web, then web platform of testing is will be the high in demand. In this case, Selenium supports a web platform testing all the possibles of a web screens. Even in a complex part it can be utilized and tested. Okay, that is the advantages of a web testing. Okay, if you have any doubts or in between, you can ask through a question answers, which will be answered in the question answer session. Okay, next thing, then components of a Selenium. Okay, then we have four types of a Selenium. Okay, we can able to test it. uh, y- uh, y- Selenium IDE. It is Selenium IDE is nothing but it's a like a QTP. You can do a sequence of steps and execute them again. What is that? You can record and replay. Okay, which means that you do a sequence of steps which is called record, and you will execute again the code. Execute the recorded code, so that while recording it will create a scripts, while running it will execute that scripts. That is a Selenium IDE. Okay. While learning, the Selenium IDE will be helpful. Once you become a beginner, then you will be start directly using a WebDriver concept. Selenium RC. What is it's a remote control to run it from one server or your desktop to a server, or a server to server. It can be anything, but it's a Selenium is a RC is a remote. You will trigger the scripts in a remote server. Okay, Selenium WebDriver, and 90% of the things will be done in a Selenium WebDriver. You have a driver which will have a act as a liaison between your scripts, Selenium JavaScripts, and the web browser. It will act as an intermediate, and it will execute your test case via that web driver. The Selenium grid, as soon as, right, Selenium grid, you form a grid, you run the Selenium in that grid. Okay, that will be very good. If okay, in this case, right, 90%, why 90% of testing goes in a web driver, right? Anything you drive it, it will drive from a web driver. Even if you run from a Selenium RC, right, it will execute via web driver. Even if you have a Selenium grid, it will execute via web driver. So that you have to learn a web driver, very important. You have to concentrate on web driver first, and then you have to step by step you can go with a Selenium with a RC or grid. Nowadays you can also run the Selenium via uh, Jenkins, or you can via Docker with multiple containers. Okay, that is a bit advanced concepts. Once you move to that expert level, or uh, expertise level, you will choose a different things to run the execute the things in Selenium. Okay, and we come to an again benefits of a Selenium, right? As we discussed, it's a open source. And if you see an open source, what is the advantages of open source is, right? Okay, even though for example, Java Selenium, Java is owned by some Oracle company, but you can contribute your learning, or you will contribute to the Java by as a community developer. You enroll you as a community developer. You can you have an idea, you can implement it. So that will be reviewed by the community, then it get approved, then it will be pushed to a new release. Okay, or your updates will be pushed to that release. Okay, this will help us to, as your thought, even your thought process to the Java level or Selenium level will be accepted by the teams. That is the reason, if you have some techniques which is need to be implemented for your project, it can be possible. Okay, that is an advantages of, or you don't know how to incorporate it, you can request the solution from the community. If it's a valuable thing, they will incorporate and go for a new release. That is a possible in the open source, that to that done at a free of cost. Okay, they have their own priorities, with that priorities they will be releasing it. Okay, that is advantages of selecting an open source. No need to pay any licensing cost to anyone, easy maintenance, and it will be foolproof. For example, even a banking system, yeah, they go with a security check with a Java open source objects. They are incorporating it. That is the reason it can be a foolproof with a security check and everything with your organization or anything, so that it can be utilized with the support. Next thing is, as we discussed, in it can be utilized in a multiple platforms. Okay, as you see a Windows, Mac and Linux, etc., right? Here here you develop a script uh, um, in your Windows platform. Okay, usually, right, 90% of desktop design for an IT will be Windows, and another few percent will be a Mac, and another few percentage will be a Linux or a Linux based systems, or it can be Unix or anything. But 90% of scripts are developed in a Windows platform, but servers, all open source servers, are run in a Linux, because it's a free. So that you developed in one platform, it has to be executed in another platform. In this case, it has to support some multiple platform. It's a real-time example. So that you develop a script in one platform, and it executes and maintain scripts in another platform. Okay, so that it has to be, because it has to be very cost effective, right? That is the reason we go with the servers with the open source servers with Linux. Okay, for example, you run scripts in an AWS with Linux system, or a Windows system. A Linux system will be cost very less, Windows system will be very costly. So that, while for executing, why you are going for a costly system, so that the maintenance will be very cheap, so that development can be in some platform, execution can be done in some platform. Okay, next, a different, suppose a languages as thing, right? You have a different set of platforms to be maintained in our organization, so that same framework can be utilized and developed in a multiple language. Okay, for example, for a loan team in your thing, they go with the Java. Same thing, some other team, right, which is can be a savings account team in your organization, they go testing with the Java. So that the two different teams go with us two different language practice, but same tool, it's a Selenium tool. So that, since they have done an analysis of a Selenium, is a, it can be used in our organization, so that they select the Selenium will be the test practice, so that you should not restrict the team with the language. So that is the reason they go with the multiple, suppose for the multiple thing. Okay, then the main thing, right, in the user will be accessing a web page in a multiple web browser. Okay, if you access a, web page, as you have a Mac, then by default you go with the Safari. You have a Chromebook, by default you will check with the uh, uh, Chrome browser. And you have a Linux system, by default you will use a Firefox. By default you will use a Firefox or any other tool. Okay, some if you go with the Windows, right, by default you have a Bing search engine. Okay, Bing or Internet Explorer latest. Okay, Internet Explorer latest. Then all these things, it's tied up to your OS or a by default things, right? In this case, you should not test the web page in a single web browser, even though they go with the JavaScript standard certifications, Chrome processing. That there may be a small processing capability will be differ to each and every web browser. You have to test across the web browser. That is the reason the Selenium has to be tested across the web browsers. Okay, Selenium allows to test the across the web browsers, because your application will be accessed by the multiple persons in a multiple regions, depending upon their usage and their device. Okay, so they will be using a different uh, browser to access it. Okay, that is the reason it supports for a multiple things. Okay, uh, Selenium WebDriver. Okay, then why we have a Selenium WebDriver? As I said, Selenium WebDriver as a liaison between your Java code and the Chrome browser or a Internet Explorer. Okay, we have a that WebDriver for a multiple uh, browsers, so that you take that WebDriver, you access it, and then you run the test. It will run automate the automated test will be executed in a different browsers according to their WebDriver. Okay, so that your instructions are converted into that commands that WebDriver take in account, do that actions in the respective browsers, so that this enables you to do an automation without any issues. That is advantages of a Selenium WebDriver. Okay, it's executes fast and everything, because you have a dedicated driver for a dedicated browser, so that they knows how to handle that with that browser, so that it will be execution will be very fast to very fast, and it has to be quickly responsive something. If you have any issues happen, right, that thing will be taken care, and it will be reported which issues. Yeah, especially, right, if you have an issue, it will pinpoint the issue. This is the component, this is the element causing the issue, so that that issue has to be identified, because we have to raise a defect with that. Okay, that helps the WebDriver does that jobs very good. Okay, okay, then as we discussed with Selenium, we are going with a language called Java. Why Java? Java is right. Okay. As soon as why Java, right? Java becomes why this much popular, even though it becomes released a decade before, and decade and before, still we are using a Java. Okay, because the advantage of the Java's, right, almost first popular language because of their platform independent. Okay, there was before now we have a n number of platform independent languages. Since this become a most popular first language to language, because it is a platform independent, you develop a scripts in one platform, it can be executed in a multiple platform with the multiple platform support. That is in the main advantages of a Java. We have n number of advantages why Java is still popular today. For that, one word answer is free and open source, and this is the first open source multi-platform language, is very popular. Okay, it's so popular till date. Okay, we have a simple syntax. Okay, that right before Java, right, you have a C++. Okay, you going to be a Java era before starting it, right? Mm, in IT, right, you can a revolution of a Java, right, before Java and after Java. You can see a IT of change as that industry of changes, right, before Java and after Java. After Java only we have a number of open source tools. It led the path to open source tools with a platform independent, so that richness and what you have a rich in flavors of content. It can be accessed, it can be open source. If you have anything, if you have an issue, you will find a jar in a Maven which is supporting to Java. Okay, that much things we are available. Even if you go for a cloud, you will have a cloud support to Java, right? Anything, right? If anything they develop, they provide a support to Java, which means that that much uh, popularity is available. And then let's come to this points. Okay, it is simple syntax and easy to write, read and write. You can able to understand and read and write very easily. That is the advantages of a Java, as we discussed, free and open source, and vast library support. Okay, the vast means, right, almost anything, almost you can do everything with the open source of a Java. If you have a Maven is a repository. You can find n number of you want to compare a PDF, you have a jar for that to compare a PDF, or take a data from a PDF. If you want to interact with the mainframe, okay, you have a jar for that in a Maven. So that vast library support, vast. If you have if you know to access a Maven, right, almost you have a n number of supports available in Java to access the things. Okay, okay, access the things. That is an advantages of a Java. Okay, okay. Next thing is, as we discussed, it's a user-friendly data structure, which means that you can define the structure of how you operate the scripting and the data. Okay, so that so that you can manipulate the data. Everything is data, right? In this world, okay, we are working for that processing a data and consuming the data. That is the main objective of the IT. Then you have to maintain the data in a very friendly and process the data, because you can access the data in multiple streams. You have to have a multiple streams of support to access the data. You will access the data, you access the uh, um, initiate the fund transfer from a web portal or a mobile device. You will take a withdrawal from your ATM, or you will go to your bank and access it, or you will do a standing instructions, or every this is a multiple stream of data is accessed in one core. So that you manage the data in from a multi paradigm. That is possible in Java. Okay, next thing is object oriented. Okay, next thing is you have a real time things to be handled. For example, you have to manage the transaction in a ATM. Okay, in this case you have to have a security, and you need to have a protocols. You have a data encapsulation, decryption. Everything is object oriented in Java, so that you can protect and transport the data in very secure format. You need to, if you have an access only, you will able to that. If you that upstream and downstream concepts, only the you have access, you will access it. If you don't, you cannot access it. So that all the restrictions are embedded with your object oriented. Even the the data which carried, right, it has a restrictions, it has a functionality around it, so that your data is protected. Okay, then portability and interactivity. Okay, if you devise a designed a code, okay, you want to deploy it, right? Okay, you have to deploy a test suite in a Jenkins. It is possible. You develop a test suite, it has to push to a Docker. It is possible. Okay, you develop a test suite, you need to push it to a remote system which your friend have it. It is possible. Okay, you do a Java, compile and run it, make it as a Maven jar, and push that jar to a next system, execute it. Everything will be in that, so that smart way you can do it in that way. So you need a practice to do it. Once you learn it, you can push that jar to your friend system, just trigger it, it will be executed. So that this is a nice and easy way to do the things in a smarter, that is a portable and interactive. Okay, it can be pushed and it can be interacted to multiple uh, parts, or a multiple streams, or a multiple way of tools. It can be triggered. It can be developed in a multiple OS or multiple streams of softwares like Jenkins. Jenkins, it can be Docker, it can be anything. Okay, okay. Then right, then ideal for a prototypes and functionality of coding is less. Okay, and right, the I will tell you a classical example. You need to take a values from a PDF. That is a simple prototype, you need to run it. Okay, what you can do is you download a PDF box, understand the basic documentation of a PDF box, put a PDF, write a single code to take a value from a PDF, and that is done. Okay, that prototype is done. Okay, only thing, right, you have a problem, you have a solution, you push that you should push that jar from a Maven, and attach it to your project, and utilize that jar, and with that jar you are access a PDF, and basic prototype is done. Okay, like this is the functionality. The rich, I again go back to a rich libraries. This vast library support helps us to reduce the coding part. We will be just utilizing that vast libraries, so that only that you have a cake, you just apply the cream. That is the functionality. You do it, you have a framework available, you have a cake, just do a cream and decorate it, so that the functionality and the framework is done. Okay, next we are going with the Selenium, Java and Cucumber. Okay, and the third part is as Cucumber. Why we need a Cucumber? Why we need a Cucumber for a Java and Selenium? Okay, you write a test scripts where you will be maintain. You will maintain a test scripts in a just simple uh, Excel file. Write a test scripts, and you develop a script in a Java Selenium. Okay, then how you relate the things? It is very difficult. Okay, and who will understand? The business or a developer will not able to understand your script means. Then then how you do a testing? Mm. How do you testing? Okay, okay, okay. That is the thing. Okay, here the test test scripts and the uh, uh, test case have a dependency. Okay, that the dependency had a gap, because you maintain a uh, Excel for test scripts test case, and test scripts are developed in Java. In this case, the understanding there may be a mismatch in the executing the test script, conversion of a test scripts to a test case to a test scripts. Okay, in this case, if you have a test case within your uh, test suits, test script suite, that has a conversion between a test case and the test scripts have a relation, then the issue is very less easy maintenance, everybody can understand. Then the person who understands the test case, they understand the test scripts, then the issue and maintenance will be very easy and seamless. That is an advantage of Cucumber. Let's go with what is a basic definition of a Cucumber. Cucumber is a behavior driven, which is all the behavior on functionality of your uh, application is written in a Cucumber. For that functionality, you are writing a test scripts so that a functionality and the testing is matched. Okay, then a Cucumber is written in a special language called as a Gherkin. Gherkin is a simple English which has very few keywords. For example, you highlighted in a different colors, right? Feature, scenario, given, and, when, then, and. Okay, these are the basic keywords which is used for writing your test scripts, sorry, test cases. Here we will be calling out as a scenarios and scenario outline, which means scenario, we will not have a single mode of execution. Scenario outline, we will have a n number of test data, we will be running in a multiple times with examples. Okay, that is will be the example of a Cucumber. Then as I said, right, okay, uh, where we create that functionality, we create all the functionality in as a feature file. Okay, each feature file has a n number of scenario or scenario outlines. Okay, in this case, what is a feature? For example, I have a feature to test the login. Okay, okay, this is a feature. What are the scenarios? You can check the whether a username and password button is working, accepting the limited or a limited minimum and max characters, and the sign in button is working or not, whether it's allowing user while entering a right data. If wrong data is done, enter, it is throwing a error. If something is happened, right, you do a some refresh or you do some resets, it has to be cleared. Okay, then alignment of it, everything you need to check with it. That case, right, this is a scenario, you have a n number of this is a feature, this is having a n number of scenarios. This is all the scenarios are bundled to a one functionality of testing called a feature file. Okay, the feature file act as a requirement document for an agile, or it may be a in agile world, right? Okay, feature will be act as a requirement for our and ACs will be feature, and ACs will be our requirement. For that, we will be having a feature file. For that feature file, we will be converting into a test scripts. For that test scripts, will be doing uh, running a test execution, producing a pass fail result. Okay, then you have this plain text, right? How it get executed? For each plain text, we will be linking a step definition function. It may be that is a Java function which is integrated and developed in Java, which is linked to each line in a feature. For example, here a given is a test case. that la- that given test case, in a test case, the given line will be linked to a step definition. That step definition, it is executed or called from a feature file. That feature file is, while calling, all the steps written in the Java get executed. That is the advantage of a Cucumber. Okay, okay, then How you do it? First, you write a feature file, run it, and uh, uh, write a feature file and write a step definition, run it. Definitely it will be fail because application is not yet developed. Okay, next step is write a test case. Once application is available, you have to link that application context. For example, only the elements available after the application is developed, you will be linked the all the element details to our test scripts. Then you run it. It has to be passed or failed depending upon the functionality. Then the circle completes, the execution is done. Okay. Okay. Then we going for a live demo over here. Okay. Now the demo, right, we will be covering up with Selenium, Cucumber, Java with Maven. Okay, Maven is a vast repository of libraries. We will be pulling the repositories from there so that this will be helpful to run a Java Selenium Cucumber content. Okay, then first thing I will do is I will execute, then I will be explaining the things sequentially. Okay. Okay, this is the Selenium. If you are all seeing a first time, you see it, right, it gets executed within a fraction of second. I'm going a Google and typing it, searching it. I'm going as Bing searching, typing and searching it. Okay, this is a thing done. Okay, what is a feature file? Okay, here you see it, right, this is a simple feature file which is very readable, understandable. Okay, here is your Google search verification, here Bing search verification. Okay, what is the feature? It's a web search feature. Okay, here you're going to just check the web search, the given user lands to a Google homepage. For this we going need to it is a prerequisite, given is nothing but you need to land go navigate to a Google page. Then you have to check whether it is a Google page and enter the search and check your search is done. Then what are the search text? I need to do this action for a multiple times, so that I'll search for a Selenium keyword, I'll search for a Java search text and a Python search text. All these things are done. Okay, for this, if you need to extend, you can do it. Okay, I can do it via. Okay, I do it via Cucumber. Okay, which means that I'm going to test the Cucumber part. Okay, for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. Okay, next I'm saving it. Okay, I'm going to execute it. Okay, I'm going to run it. Now it will search for a cucumber. Cucumber. Okay. Next in Bing, it will search for three things. Okay. Did you see it, right? Google search runs for only one time and Bing search for three times. Okay. Okay, this is a scenario outline where it is simple and readable and understandable. For all the behavior driven test data can be injected to your test case via these examples. You can add or extend or remove, right? For this, right, consider, right, you are just a product owner of your team. You nothing you know about JavaScripting because you are a product owner, you know the business. They need to do a testing for some other use case which is a different text. But the thing, right, without a BDD cucumber they cannot debug and enter some value in a Java code. But This is a simple and plain English. Whoever can maintain, whoever can type it, the functionality is removed. No need for a tester support. Here, just a product owner removes it, okay, saves it, okay, trigger the execution via from your local or a Jenkins. So that this helps easy maintenance, easy transparency between the product owner, developer, and the tester. This is a main advantages of a BDD Cucumber. Okay. Okay, let's go to some technical part. Okay, first thing, right, as you run it, okay, where this supporting jars are taken, all the supporting jars are taken from the Maven. We maintain all the dependencies over here. This is so that I ran a simple text, but it is converted into a Java. It understands this code and converts into a JavaScript and execute it with all the dependencies over here, which is taken from the Maven, or from the Maven. So that this is advantages of a Java having a vast libraries. Okay, all this dependencies jars, no need to maintain your in your system. Okay, I will just send a POM file with this Java file. Once you save it, all right, this dependency will be taken from everything is taken from the Maven, and this support is available for you. Okay, first thing, so that you have a dependency jar. Then how execution starts? Okay, first thing, right, it starts with the test runner, where a entry point of this Java Selenium. Okay, I may write a test case. Okay, you maintain a pass fail. Who is doing the pass fail? This pass fail trigger and everything is done by the JUnit, where the cucumber consumes the JUnit part and do a testing part from the cucumber. Okay, that is done. Then, okay, you write a feature file where it is defined. You will be givening the class path of a, or a project path of your features written, and that understands this is a feature file which where it is available. And then you need to integrate your step definitions. Okay, as I told, this each line is converted into a function in Java. You have to specify where it is available. It is available in the step definition package, so that you have given that package link. Okay, okay, that this is the entry point. Okay, then as you said, this is converted into a step definition. Then we are going for a step definition. Did you see it right? Okay, user lands on Google homepage. This is a given. Here we are pushing this homepage. Okay, did you see a driver? Okay, what is the driver? As we discussed, okay, driver act as a license between your script and the Chrome browser. Okay, this gets the detail of this. Okay, you need to navigate to this path. This detail is pushed to this driver, where this driver details are incorporated. Okay, so that if you go to the initialization of a driver part, you see it right. You are using a Chrome driver, which is available in the driver.chrome.exe. You see it right. This is a driver uh, folder. You have a chrome.exe. From here, this is a part. It act as a license between your scripts and the browser, so that here it interacts and asks to navigate to a Google, so that it get navigated. Next step here is, okay, check this is a Google page. Step definition, right? You are getting next, right? You are getting the driver got get title. Okay, so that you're getting the title and logging it into a log. I will come to a log part little bit later. Then, right, then you are identifying the element. You are asking a driver to find the element for this XPath. Okay, what is an XPath? You are the method to identify, like an address to your home, in an address to an element, so that it is a text box, okay, where you enter it, so that it gives an address using that mechanism called XPath. Okay, this XPath, you are typing that search. What will be the search string? The search string is defined. Okay, you see it, right? Search text is defined over here. This is passed to this search string. Okay, did you see it, right? Search string, that search string understand the values and push to the that mm, that text box, uh, that is a Google's text box with this address. Once that is done, you are asking a submit button to submit. Okay, this is an address of this button. It clicks it, then it gets searched. Once it's searched, right, we are verifying the things it is searched or not. Okay, we are taking the first element and searching the testing it is correctly searched or not. Once is that searched, we are checking, we are it is searched, text is same, then we are executing the driver, which means that killing the browser. Okay, this is a simple ideal case. Same thing, it gets repeated for a Bing. Instead of a search engine, we are pushing to a Google and testing it. Okay. Okay, next thing, right? You understand, you execute. Consider you are executing in a remote system. You are not able to see which is done, what is done. In this case, right, you have a logger. Log4j logger is given, so that as soon as you executed it, right, now you see it, right, now run it for Cucumber. Okay, this is a log time, it is a first scenario, and you will be logging all the details of your execution. Okay, this will be helpful for debugging. Okay, even though you have a report, this will be helpful for debugging. Okay, this is very important. You have to log all the things, whether it is right or wrong, whether intermediate values which cannot be published in your report. You can log the steps and things depending upon case to case. If you require, you can do it, whatever things of your requirement. Then this thing, right, you return a feature file, you run a step definition, you log the all the steps. Next thing is, everything is done, you need a report to publish it, right? What is that report? Okay, by default, right, Cucumber itself generate a report. Okay, by default, I'm not generating any customized report. By default, a Cucumber is generating a report. I'm opening that report. Okay, this is a report. Okay, okay, did you see it, right? I have run with a Cucumber, it get passed. I run with a Selenium, it get passed. I run with a Java, it get passed. Okay, and okay, this is a scenario, everything, four scenarios run, and what is the time duration, and everything is executed. What is the tag associated? As soon as you see it, right, it's a very readable and format, so that this is a by default, a report is a readable report is generated by the Cucumber. Okay, uh, any doubts so far? If you have any doubts or anything, you can start with it. If anything to be repeated or anything part to be, it's not get followed up, if you, the floor is open for questions. Okay, there's something about a Java or Cucumber or in Selenium, please let me know so that we can address over there. Okay, Omar, you received any questions in a chat window?
Yeah, I've received the multiple question in the chat window. So you can go to the chat window, and also I'm enabling the participants to speak so that they can ask their questions.
Okay, 1 second. I'll, I will be stop sharing and seeing the Chat
So
window.
guys, your mics are enabled, so you can ask question one by one, and Thesis will answer your question.
Okay, sure. I will screen share it again. Okay.
Hello,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
am I
As
audible to you, sir?
yes, Keshav, I am able to hear you. Why my
Yeah,
voice is
sir.
audible for you? Okay.
Yeah, you are also audible to me. And
Okay.
my question is, which plugins require to install Selenium?
Okay, and you no need to install anything else. As I said, if you are doing standalone, you need to get the jar from a Selenium website. If you are using Go with
Okay.
via Maven, okay, you just type
And yeah,
type
if
a
our project
dependency.
is Maven, means
Uh,
we are to set the dependency in pom.xml file if we are
okay,
using a Maven project.
okay. In
Then
yeah,
yes,
yeah, if it's a small companies, they will be allowing to take it from internet. Some like for some, you work for a Mastercard, Visa card, right? They have a security restrictions. They will have a as a Maven, they will have an access repository or any repository for their organization. You have to pull the jar
okay,
from that repository. For that, you need to check with depending upon your corporate policy. You have to take it from internet, or you have to go with the local repository which is maintain your organization. You have to take a call depending upon it. If they have a rights, right? So, yeah, case to case, you have to be differ. Some cases you have to download. In some cases you have to go with a repository.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sir. Can
because
you make me? Yeah, can you make me the file which you use while testing purpose? uh, with increasing the font of this, because at that time the font size is very low.
okay, okay, so okay, okay. Okay, if you want, I can increase the font size. This font size is okay.
mm, yeah,
Okay, I'm applying. Okay, okay, and this is the Maven dependencies. Okay,
yes, yeah,
this is
now
a
it is okay.
okay. You will be everything is if it's Selenium Java, right? Not only that, you can have a Selenium Cucumber JUnit, Cucumber Java, Cucumber reporting. This everything supports, right? This is for logging. Okay, anything you do it, you can do it. Okay, which can be, this is the Maven URL repository. This is a repository which is available over the internet, but if you are having a restrictions, you should use your local repository in your organization. If nothing is there, you go and download it and use it. Okay, that thing
Right,
also possible. Okay.
right. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. In one of the tutorial, I read that natural plugins should be used for Cucumber framework. Is that correct?
Depending if your needs, you can use any, you you can mute it because I'm getting my voice echo, sorry. Okay. uh, the plugin is right. Plugin is this is the plugin which is available for your IDE. But okay, if you want to use it, right, Cucumber IO is only authorized person to have it, even a certain entity to have it. Sanity is also supporting BDD Cucumber, but who is the owner of that BDD Cucumber? Who maintains it? Cucumber.io. That is a website. You can refer it. That is the reason. If you want to use something, you have to align with a person who is providing it. So that Cucumber IO is providing it. You can take the jars. Okay. If you are going for a plugin for IDE, n number of IDEs available. Okay, plugins available for your IDE. You can download anything. That will not affect your execution. Only thing here is this is affect your execution. Okay, so that you have to stick to over here this plugin, right? You can choose anything for your convenience. Okay, you got, yeah. You got the answer, or anything you looking, anything else you're looking for it?
Got it, sir.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks. Any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, can I audible to you?
Yes, I am audible. Say,
When I'm select create a new Marvin project and select Arch type Quick Start 1.1, it take two more time for creating a builder. Means it is not created. What is the problem in that?
okay, the thing here is, the selecting a anchor, you finding a difficult in creating a selecting an anchor type, correct, right? Better search in internet, download a readily available a Cucumber project. First you understand this thing better. The best solution is you can create your own anchor type and define it. That is the best solution. Because okay, I create an anchor type for my testing. Okay, but that is not usable for you, right? You will end up in a wrong direction. Better first to learn for a learning purpose. First you take any maven project from git. It's an open source. Any publicly, I also have a open, so this is a git repo only. Okay, you can get the details, understand the anchor, and then do it. Okay, because the because right, if you see this thing, uh, the dependencies, plugins, or n number of did you see, this is the anchor types which is available, right? This is different, because if you go with a maven project, it has a different anchor type. Okay, better you can define your own anchor type. For example, you create a maven project. Okay, maven project here, right? If you don't know anything, right, you can select as quick start anchor type, and then you can have a version, or you can, this will be enough for a starting purpose. If as you learn, go and go, right, better you create your own anchor type. Okay, that will be the for you. You can select this anchor type for a quick start. Then you go inside and do a this, you do a settings. What is your group id, artifact id? Don't leave anything is unattended. Okay, you do it, because this maven part is a very big topic. Okay, I'm just giving a glimpse of it. Okay, you got
Okay,
it
sir.
right. I
Thanks.
provided two different answers. Select a quick start, or you can get it from a uh, GitHub. Okay, the best option is you create your own anchor type. That is okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any questions?
So guys, any more question you can have, you can ask. I think there is no more questions, so I think we can close the session then.
Okay, thanks, Omar.
Thank
Okay,
you.
if anything from your side, you can start with it. Okay, I'll.
No, yeah. So guys, we have already shared the link in the chat for the on-spot offer. So if you have any query, you can write to us in the chat window, or you can visit to our website and drop us your query. We can contact you. And thank you for joining and have a wonderful evening and night. Thank you. Thank you, Vinesh, for the wonderful session.
Thanks, Omar. Thanks providing for this opportunity. Okay, thanks team for patience to have listening. Better we can connect more on the future sessions too. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, team.
Thanks, Gabriel. Thank you.